try something new. Welcome back to Stacks and Setbacks. I'm in the red truck, just heading down the road, trying to find a good little spot to do some videoing. There's a lot of wind around at the moment, so I am going to try my best to find a non-windy spot and drive one-handed in a stick. So yeah, you probably would have noticed I've changed my name. I changed it maybe a month ago or so. It's nothing new. I don't know, I wasn't really feeling it. Felt it was a bit boring. I don't know. I mean, Stacks and Setbacks is more in line with my passion for vintage racing, vintage drag racing in particular. I mean, I love anything automotive, anything automotive, yeah, trucks, cars, machinery, bridges, but like Stacks and Setbacks just aligns with my my true passion for vintage drag racing. Now you need obviously a truck, right, to tow something that's going to the drag strip. So hey, I'm in the red truck at the moment, just doing going for a bit of a drive and trying to find a good spot actually to do some videoing of the old girl. I haven't actually done a video for a while. There's been a couple of updates which I thought were pretty cool, and this little spot here seems pretty good. Let me just get myself organised. Yeah, this seems alright. So, here we are. Okay. Here we go. I've just found this little spot. It's actually pretty cool, under some pine trees. Found some little buddies here. Hey guys. I don't want to scare them off too much, but a few little calves. It's all good. Don't stress. There's actually heaps of them. So yeah, the 1968 F26 Highboy, F250. I've done a couple of videos on this. If you go back to a few previous posts or a few previous videos, you'll see quite a few videos on this actually. This is my daily most of the time. Those cold, wintry, rainy mornings, I do occasionally jump in the daily and the family truckster and use that. But I, for the most part, try to use this truck. I love driving this thing. I mean, who doesn't love driving an old vintage truck, right? It's super cool. I have done a few big trips in this. One particular trip was to South Australia, which is, I think it was about a 1,600 kilometre round trip all up. So that was its first big maiden voyage. I went to South Australia to pick up the new project, chassis, driveline, wheels, heaps of bits and pieces. So it was so basically I drove the truck interstate, organised a trailer to pick up in South Australia, picked it up, went to where I was buying the parts from, and I did a bit of running around, drove it back to Victoria, dropped the trailer off locally, and it was a good trip. Truck went really well. It's always a bit nerve-wracking, right, going on that first big trip on your own. I took a heap of tools, I took a handful of spare parts. What did I take? Fuel pump. I took a couple of unis that I had laying around, and obviously heaps of tools and bits and pieces. But look, at the end of the day, you can never be prepared for something like that, and it turned out really well. There was a bit of a sort of halfway through the trip, I actually did take a lot of back roads because I sort of just wanted to see new areas of Victoria. And I did, yeah, like I said, took a lot of back roads. Which, you know, that means you don't see a lot of traffic, you don't see a lot of people. If you do break down, well, you're more likely to be stranded. But look, yeah, everything went really well. There was a bit of a noise halfway through the trip, which ended up being I think the throwout bearing. I just made a couple of adjustments, and that noise went away. But it is actually still making a bit of a noise. So I'm suspecting that I'll probably pull that gearbox in the near future. I haven't actually pulled the gearbox before, so I'm not sure what the clutch is like. I'm not sure what the bearing's like, but I'll probably just redo, you know, put a new clutch in it, new bearing, and at least I know that is taken care of. I did actually replace the radiator. Let me just see if I can open this bonnet. I did replace the radiator before the Adelaide trip, and I just found out the other day, I was just looking the other day, and it is leaking. It's a brand new radiator, and we've got a leak. I'm thinking it's actually in one of the cores or maybe the top tank. So I've actually emailed them. I bought it off eBay, and look, to be honest, in order for them to replace it or repair it or whatever, I've got to actually send it in. It's interstate, and look, I'm probably just not going to worry about it. More of a pain than it is. So I'm either going to put in a you know, like a no more leaks, or I'll take it to my local radiator shop and see what they say. One interesting thing that I have discovered on this truck, which was really cool, I was hanging around with a mate the other day. We were just actually by the front of the truck, I should say, having a couple of cans, talking. He's like, "Hey, what's the donk?" And I'm like, "It's a 390." So I've always been, you know, when I bought the truck, I was told it was a 390. So I'm like, yeah, sweet, you know, cool. I didn't really look further into it. So anyway, we're having this conversation. He said, "Hey, what is it? 390." Anyway, he's starting to look at a few numbers, few build numbers or part numbers on different parts, you know, intake. I think it was actually started off with the intake. Anyway, he said, "Oh, look, you know, have a look underneath. Get me some part numbers, any part numbers you can find on the engine, and I'll see if I can decode them." So, you know, sure enough, I did that. And it turns out that it is the engine was built in 1968, I think. So I decoded the VIN, and I believe the truck was made or built, I should say, in August 68. Now, the parts that the part numbers that I've got so far are July, around about July 68, and with the majority of them have T on it for truck, I believe. So exhaust manifolds, I've taken the rocker covers off, the heads, again, July, around about July 68 on both heads. And although one exhaust manifold, which I think it is actually the passenger side, is maybe August or something like that, August of 68. So it is a little bit later. Whether it's a replacement or whether the build of the truck isn't accurate as to what's on the VIN, but I mean, essentially, I'm thinking, I'm pretty confident that this is actually a matching numbers truck. I took off, now I did think it was a 390. I did take off the number one spark plug, did a stroke test. Number one, took the spark plug out, threw a dowel down there. Number 4 at the same time, so that was top dead center, number 1. Bottom center worked out to be 3.5 inches. So your 3.5 inch stroke either means it's a 352 or it's a 360. Now I'm thinking it's a 360. So that verifies that. Now it's funny, because I thought it was a 390. I never thought to even check these numbers before. So I thought, look, I'll go back through the paperwork when I bought the truck. Now, the guy that I bought the truck off, he just had it for a little while. He was just flipping it. He bought it off an old bloke. I did ask him history at the time of the truck. He didn't know anything. So all he knew was the guy was an old bloke. He died. He used to cart. He used it for carting wood on his ranch, and that's all he knew. Now, I did find this. It was some sort of legal document with this guy's, the previous owner's name, address, age. It even said that, you know, he died. So I can look that piece of paperwork up again and just find out exactly what that paperwork is. But it even said that he was a mechanic. So I was sort of thinking, oh man, is this, you know, was this the original owner, or at least the, you know, like maybe not the original owner, maybe the second or third or fourth owner, but obviously a guy that looked after the truck. Because when I was building this truck to get it on the road, when I say I wasn't building it, but when I was working on it to get it on the road, there were a lot of little things that I was like, oh man, that's like the original whatever, or that's, pull that apart and like, oh, that's the original so-and-so. So yeah, no, there were a lot of parts in this truck that I was surprised that it was still on there, being an original part. So I'm thinking this isn't a matching numbers truck, which is pretty cool. I mean, I'm pretty stoked about that. I mean, it probably doesn't mean much to most, but to me it means a hell of a lot. The other thing too, I mean, I can't really see this has been resprayed. I mean, look, it has, I mean, this door's different. That colour you can see, it's actually a different door. That's been replaced at some point. It's an original red and white truck. The VIN even says that. So that's, you know, obviously that's true. But in terms of the paint itself, look, you know, yeah, it's been touched up definitely, but, you know, mostly original paint. So, hey, you know, stranger things have happened, right? It would be cool if it was a matching numbers. The other thing too, like, you know, just going through, looking at, you know, the floor. I mean, that's a non-repaired floor. It did have rubber floor mats in it when I bought it. I thought that as the floor would be just completely shot, so I did buy some new panels or new floor pans for it, but of course, as you can see, I didn't need it. Even the pedal doesn't look too bad at all. It's got what have we got on the Speedo? We got 48,000. So, you know, I'm definitely not 48,000, but maybe 148. The seat, I think that's the original seat, and it's not been reupholstered, but anyone out there that can verify that, or at least sort of give me some an idea of how to check that. But to me, it looks like it's the original seat. It did, decoding it did say the interior trim level, I can't remember what the letter was, but it was black vinyl and cloth, so that definitely matches. You can see that white door over there actually, so it's obviously a white door. Two tones, I'm thinking this is the original door being red. So yeah, there you have it. That's where we're at with the old 68 Highboy. No other plans for it. I am thinking, well, I would love a brush guard. That would be super awesome. Really hard to find. I know that they're, especially, you know, I'm in Australia, of course, and getting one over here would be stupid money, but anything I buy is stupid money because it's just what you have to do in order to get what you want over here from the States. The dollar isn't too bad at the moment, so it's not. It's a little bit more forgiving, but yeah, anyone out there that actually has a brush guard that would be willing to sell, please let me know. All right, folks. Well, look, I hope everyone is well. Happy New Year. It is coming towards the end of January, so that's pretty crazy already. But look, yeah, give me a like, throw a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything I should do to this truck, or if there's anyone out there with a similar Highboy.